Good morning, guys. I hope we're all sparkly. And you know what? I really mean that. How are you? 3 little words that do not get asked enough. And does the person asking them listen? More often than not really. It's not our fault though. We are overstimulated, distracted from truths. It's part of the design. We are not supposed to concentrate on self. We are supposed to feed the machine. The needs of the individual are not important. The needs of the collective are not important. The needs of the machine are important. There is something very wrong with our society. So, to effect a positive change to the individual, you must look inwards and you must look to your immediate environment, and if everything you do has a positive impact, this world will be a greater place and a place to be proud of. How are you? I cannot overemphasize the importance of the doctor-patient relationship in dealing with a medical condition that has wide-ranging effects on both the mind and the body. I have the ability to be objective. I've been there, I've done that, and I've got the t-shirt. Play to your strengths. Lydia's going to love that now. It's incredibly important. So, I take on board your concerns, your ideas, and your expectations. And I tell you whether they're realistic. I tell you whether testosterone is going to be the cure. It's not the cure, it's the foundation for you to build upon, to give you the strength to look at the aspects of your life that could do with improvement. And you know what? Everybody's got aspects of their life that need improvement. Does that mean you need to be perfect? Of course not. Do we still make mistakes? Hell yeah. I love making mistakes. Mistakes are great fun. Does that mean we should accept and continue to make mistakes? Well, it's all a matter of perspective. But you need somebody to be objective. So one of my guys, disappointingly through lockdown, has reverted back to drinking. He was doing incredibly well, but the mental stress of lockdown has driven him back to the booze. He missed a couple of appointments, so we had a chat. I gave him an ultimatum. I have set boundaries because he wants to continue TRT, but I need to do it safely and effectively, not only for me, but for him. So he needs to get with the program. So I've set boundaries. I'm going to make him jump through hoops because it's actually in his best interests. So we are often our own worst enemies, and we listen to the naughty devil, not the good saint. Because the saint, he takes work. The naughty one, not much effort. And the greatest reward comes from effort. Now, we spoke about this yesterday. No, I can't remember when I spoke about it. These little dopamine hits that you get from social media. The validation for your self-worth from how many subscribers you have. It's a life built on a deck of cards. You need substance. You need foundations. And testosterone is that necessary foundation to give you drive, determination, will, the desire to succeed. But it actually comes from within. Testosterone is merely an important part of the puzzle, but it is not everything. It is not a cure. It will not make you into Superman. It will not make you into Einstein, unfortunately. It will make you you. And that's all we're trying to achieve here. We are trying to normalize your melandrin levels so that you can crack on with life. That's all I want you to do. I do not want you to compare your journey with anybody else's, because that's not you. It's fascinating. I listen to all of your stories, obviously, and there are commonalities in every single story, and it really is your subjective appreciation, because my objective appreciation, the more I do this job, is the realization that we're all very similar. And whilst you may be troubled and you may be really struggling, there are numerous other peoples having been through this journey and have come out the other side stronger. One of my guys the other day said, I watched your video about suicide, and I didn't tell you at the time. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. So don't struggle alone. Reach out, but reach out to the right people. Reach out to somebody who has your best interests at heart. This is not a sales-consumer relationship. If something seems too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Discounted bloods, but they won't give you the results because you'll go elsewhere, and then they tie you into a 6-month contract. That's how some of these people operate. How can you be confident that somebody is acting in your best interests if they're tying you in to a contract for a medical condition? I am absolutely appalled with the behavior of some of these online providers and online provider-esque businesses. It is deplorable. So, you need to speak to somebody who can be objective. You need to speak to somebody who has your best interests at heart. I saw a guy the other day. Did I mention him in the other podcast? I think I did. Yeah, he came with all the symptoms, but I said to him, I think it's due to exogenous stress, and you need to address your sleep and speak to a counsellor, etc., etc. And got his blood test back, and I was right. So I was a little bit worried, actually, because I just banged on about the fact that I think you need to look into your unresolved issues, and that will be your saviour. And his numbers came back cracking. Could do a little bit of a drop in SHBG to free up a little bit of testosterone, but ultimately TRT is not in his best interests. So even if you qualify for TRT according to the BSSM guidelines, speak to somebody before committing to what is a lifelong therapy, a therapy that is involved, a therapy that isn't always smooth running. The guys that do best have the right attitude in understanding that this is literally a foundation for you to build upon. The guys that do worst have this idea that testosterone is the cure and I don't need to put any effort in. Also, we've spoken about chunky monkeys before, ad nauseum. If you have things that you need to work on, your TRT journey will not be smooth running until you become the person that you're supposed to be. I can help facilitate this, but you've got to put the effort in because it's your journey. Think carefully, make the right decisions.